Hey, I had a mini epiphany end of last week, and I want to share my learning with you, and I hope it's helpful. So, you might have experienced this before. I mean, if you're a business owner, solopreneur, you probably have. Um, you have a lot to do, seemingly not enough time. There's projects on your plate and demands coming from different directions. You're also aware that self-care is important, and it just seems like all is not coming together as in a kind of a pleasant way, I'll call it. So end of last week, I was feeling particularly frazzled one day, and I just needed to take some time out, which is great, right? A little break, like 10 minutes, and I decided I'm gonna meditate because it's really great to clear my mind. So I did that and kind of left or ended with kind of a question or of what do I need to know or to transform this or something along those lines. I can't remember exactly, but shortly after, it was either that evening, I think it was that evening, or like really shortly after, maybe an hour later, I opened an email in my inbox, and it was just the message I needed to hear. And what the message was about simplifying. So simple, right? And it was such a good reminder that we tend to overcomplicate things, obviously, in an attempt to make things better, to do things better, to get a better result. But actually, what we often end up doing is stressing ourselves, and that's not constructive at all. So, the email was really quite elaborate on this topic, and it's so interesting how we often receive just what we need. And after reading that email, it was such a good reminder that simplifying, there's so many ways to simplify in the way that we organize our lives, in the way that we do the most mundane things, which is, I don't know, prepare a meal, right? How can you simplify your nutrition? How can you simplify even just thinking, right? Not overthinking, literally making a decision to, when when I find myself to go into overthinking, which overcomplicates things, to opt for an easier train of thought or a simpler train of thought. So not add the whole story that makes me overthink even more or worry or something. So really simple, and then that inspired me to put out a little Instagram post. Did not have much traction at all, but doesn't matter, which goes: simple thought, simple action, simple planning. So yeah, simple planning, simple focus, simple food, simple joys, which there are so many in life, translate into a simpler experience of life. And to me, it's like I went like 180 turn from frazzled, really feeling it. I tend to really feel it in my body because I don't know about you, but I can perceive my inner body, if you will, my energy quite palpably, especially when I feel stressed or frazzled. It's tangibly kind of bubbly and unpleasantly so. Not a bubbly in a kind of anticipating, excited way, but bubbly in a attention's going too many directions kind of way. And what that email did, it really reminded me of, first of all, simplifying or feeling the ease inside our body, really to get into an easy state, and that really is a state of mind and a state of body. And I will leave you with this. I know this is getting a bit long, but if you've lasted to here, there's a little tip to do that. So I'm an NLP coach, and we work a lot with changing our states and mastering or managing our state. And the first thing is to notice. So like I said, I do have quite an awareness of what's going on inside. I can pick up on my state. So you can do that the same with me. So just pause and feel into yourself. What are you feeling? Especially when you're stressed, how does that experience show itself to you in your body or in your mind? What's going on? Even if you were to step into an observer position for a moment, what would you notice of yourself in that state? How are you feeling? What are you thinking? How are you thinking? How are you behaving? Are there any patterns? So just tuning into that. And what I noticed was this kind of bubbly, kind of frantic, frazzled, kind of in the area of my head, but also in the area of my chest, this kind of energy. And the first thing I could do was just like, just kind of bring like this exhale energy to it. And it's settled. Just being reminded that I am in charge of my state allowed me to settle that frazzled energy, and it was incredible. And so this week my intention is to bring simplicity into everything. So whenever I find myself getting a bit overcomplicating complicating things, I pause and like, what is my intention? Simplify. How can I make this simpler? And it's been really transformative and really awesome. And it reminds me of George's joyful productivity approach, which is right to always connect with that joy in the present moment, no matter what you're doing. And you can call it joy, you can call it whatever state is internal state, your internal experience is constructive for whatever you're doing. So for me, the ease, kind of simplicity, it just feels so open and spacious and calm, and no less energized, just calmer and spacious. So I hope this was interesting. I wanted to share. I realize it's gotten quite long. Still working on my conciseness. But thanks for watching. Have a lovely day.